Most men are suckers for emotional manipulation, falling for fake tears, empty promises, and mind games because they don't understand the rules. And if you don't know the rules, you lose. Every single time. Let's cut the bullshit. Women don't play games because they're evil. They play games because they can. Because too many men are desperate, emotionally reactive, and weak-willed. They hand over their power like beggars hoping for scraps of attention. But here's the truth. You can't be manipulated if you refuse to play. The moment you see the game for what it is, you control it. This isn't about being cold or heartless. It's about self-respect. It's about recognizing when you're being tested, toyed with, or strung along, and flipping the script. If you're tired of being the guy who gets led on, ghosted, or emotionally jerked around, this is your wake-up call. Number 1. Recognize the game before it plays you. Most men don't even realize they're getting played until it's too late. They mistake chaos for chemistry, manipulation for love, and inconsistency for intrigue. But make no mistake, there's a game being played, and if you don't recognize it, you're the pawn, not the player. So how do you spot it? Look for the patterns, hot and cold behavior. One moment she's showering you with affection, making you feel like the only man in the world. The next, she's distant, ignoring your texts, leaving you wondering what went wrong. That's not mystery, that's control. It's the emotional equivalent of a slot machine. Unpredictable rewards that keep you hooked, chasing the high of her validation. Testing your boundaries. Ever heard? If you really loved me, you'd do this for me. Or, I guess you don't. Care enough. That's not romance, that's a calculated push to see how much you'll bend. The moment you cave, the line moves further. Before you know it, you're justifying things you once swore you'd never tolerate. Triangulation. She casually mentions how some other guy hit on her, how her ex still wants her, or how someone at work just gets her. It's not harmless chatter. It's a power move designed to make you compete for her attention, to make you feel replaceable. And when you take the bait, she wins. The truth is simple. The game only works if you play along. The second you stop reacting, stop seeking her approval, stop letting her actions dictate your emotions, that's when the game collapses. If she truly values you, she won't need to play games to keep you around. If she doesn't, then walking away is your power move. Number 2, refuse to be a puppet. Most men stumble here, not because they lack confidence, but because they seek validation over self-respect. They crave approval, mistaking it for affection, and in doing so they hand over their power. She cancels plans at the last minute with a half-hearted excuse. Instead of recognizing the blatant disregard, you scramble to reschedule, desperate for an explanation. She replies with lukewarm, one-word answers. You convince yourself she's just busy and keep the conversation going, hoping, praying that one day she'll miraculously change. Wrong. The moment you detect manipulation, inconsistency, or blatant disrespect, you walk away, not as some strategic ploy to pique her interest, but because you are a man who refuses to tolerate anything less than what he deserves. Imagine a king pleading for his subjects to acknowledge his worth. Laughable, isn't it? A man who commands respect never begs for it. People, women included, treat you exactly how you train them to. If she knows you'll tolerate flakiness, mixed signals, and emotional games, why would she respect you? Why should she? She has no reason to. But the moment she realizes that your time, attention, and presence are privileges, not entitlements, you become a man who is valued, not used. Number 3, master frame control. The person who controls the frame controls the relationship. This is an unspoken but undeniable truth. Every interaction, every conversation, every moment of silence is a subtle battle for control. If she dictates the terms, deciding when to respond, how much effort to invest, or whether you are worth her respect, you've already lost. She's leading and you're following. But what happens when you flip the script? What if, instead of reacting to her whims, you became the immovable force, the one who sets the tone, the one she orbits around? Flip it. Be indifferent to her games. Emotional control is your greatest weapon. No desperate texts, no frustrated rants, no chasing when she withdraws. If she pulls away, let her. Imagine a storm raging outside, yet inside you're sipping coffee, unbothered. That composure is magnetic. When she returns, and she will, it's on your terms, not hers. Set the tone early. If she's accustomed to men tripping over themselves for her attention, be the anomaly. Be the one who doesn't flinch, who doesn't seek validation. Your quiet confidence will intrigue her far more than any man bending to her will. Focus on your mission. A man with purpose is a man who commands respect. The more deeply you immerse yourself in your goals, the less her approval or lack thereof will dictate your emotions. Think of the greats: Elon Musk, Kobe Bryant, Alexander the Great. Were they fixated on whether someone texted back? No. They were too busy conquering their worlds. And so should you be. Frame control isn't about manipulation, it's about self-respect. It's about becoming the kind of man whose presence demands attention without needing to ask for it. The moment you internalize this, you stop chasing, and she starts noticing. Number 4, play the long game while she plays the short one. Women who play games thrive on predictability. They expect men to crumble under the weight of uncertainty, to chase when they pull away, to seek validation when they withhold it. They've seen it happen countless times. Men caving at the first sign of resistance, bending over backward for approval that's never truly given, only loaned. But what happens when you don't react? When you don't flinch at her cold shoulder, or scramble to fix a problem she created? That's when the script flips. The moment you refuse to play by her rules, you become an anomaly, one she can't quite figure out. And nothing is more unsettling to a game player than uncertainty. So hold your ground. Let her wonder why you're not texting first. Let her sit in the silence she created. When she throws out bait, whether it's a guilt trip, a passive-aggressive comment, or an exaggerated sigh, don't bite, because the man who can walk away holds all the power. Not the one who argues, not the one who pleads, and certainly not the one who lets himself be manipulated into submission. And if she never comes around, even better. You've just dodged a lifetime of mental chess matches, emotional roller coasters, and shifting goalposts. Because a woman who plays games isn't looking for a partner, she's looking for a puppet. And you are no one's puppet. Closing statement. Listen. Nobody gets played by accident. It doesn't just happen. People get played because they ignore the signs that were there from day one. They brush off gut feelings, excuse blatant disrespect, and convince themselves that things will change. But let's be real. When has ignoring red flags ever made them disappear? When has tolerating mistreatment ever turned a toxic situation into a healthy one? You don't lose by walking away. You lose by staying in a game that was rigged against you from the start. If you're tired of being the emotional yo-yo, pulled in when it's convenient and discarded when it's not, then it's time to reclaim your power. Start acting like the prize. Not by being arrogant, not by playing the same manipulative games, but by setting standards that demand respect, by enforcing boundaries without hesitation, by walking away the first time you're disrespected, not the 10th. Respect isn't something you beg for, it's something you command. And the moment you start acting like a man who values himself, you'll notice something. The people who once played you, they'll either level up or fall away. Either way, you win. The ball is in your court. Are you going to keep chasing people who don't deserve you, or are you going to start playing to win? Drop a like if this spoke to you, and if you're serious about leveling up, subscribe, because the truth isn't always easy to hear, but it's exactly what you need.